I'm not the kind of guy who scares easily. I've hiked alone in the Rockies, camped in forests where no cell tower reaches. I've been caught in blizzards, nearly run off the road by trucks, even once faced a bear. I know fear, real fear, but nothing prepared me for what happened that night. It was supposed to be a normal weekend road trip, just me and 3 of my closest friends, Ben, Jason and Kyle. We were heading up to a rented cabin near the Smoky Mountains, remote but not off the grid. GPS said it would take just under 5 hours. That was before we took the shortcut. It was Ben's idea. He was riding shotgun, eyes glued to his phone. He said there was a wreck ahead, traffic backed up for miles, but his GPS offered an alternate route, a back road that cut straight through the woods. We'd driven back roads before, figured it'd be a little slower, maybe a little bumpy, but we'd avoid sitting on the interstate for hours. So we turned off. The road started out paved, narrow but paved. Then it turned to gravel, then dirt, no big deal. It was still wide enough for the car and we were still seeing road signs, though most looked old, faded. I remember seeing one that simply said, Echo Hollow, 4 miles. We'd never heard of that town, none of us had. I thought that was odd. Ben's small towns out here pop up like mushrooms. The trees grew denser, taller, blocking out the last of the late afternoon sun. It got dark fast. Jason, who was driving, turned on the high beams, but they barely cut through the thickening mist that had begun to settle along the road. That's when things started to feel wrong. I know how that sounds, but there's a kind of quiet that isn't natural. The kind where even the wind sounds like it's holding its breath. We hadn't seen another car in over half an hour. No houses, no fences, no mailboxes, just woods. And the GPS still directing us onward, but the map was weird. No street name, no towns nearby, just a line through a grey space. We asked Ben if he was sure. He said yeah, but he sounded less confident. Then we saw the sign. It was nailed to a tree, fresh bright red letters on wood road ends, turn back. Jason, is this part of the detour? Ben, yeah, just keep going, maybe another half mile. I wanted to turn around, so did Kyle, but Jason kept going. The road narrowed, the trees nearly scraped the side of the car. The mist got thicker, and even the headlights seemed to bounce back like we were in a tunnel. Then we drove over something soft. We stopped. Jason stepped out, crouched, and picked up what looked like an old decaying plush toy, a rabbit. Its eyes were missing. He dropped it without a word, climbed back in and muttered, "Let's turn around." So we did, or at least we tried to, because the road we had come from was gone. No tracks, no gravel, no turn-off, just trees, like the forest had swallowed it whole. None of us said anything for a moment. We just stared at the wall of trees behind us, and then at the road ahead, if you could even call it that. Dirt, roots, puddles, but the GPS still showed us on a path. Ben, we're not lost, we just need to follow it a little further. It must loop back. We didn't have a choice. Jason kept driving. But the longer we went, the more things felt wrong. The trees looked the same, copy-paste identical, the same twisted branch, the same cracked trunk, like we were moving, but the forest wasn't. And then the sky turned red. Not the warm, golden kind of sunset red. This was deeper, almost glowing, like the sky itself was burning behind a thick curtain. No sun, no stars, just red. The GPS, blank screen, dead battery. Ben tried his phone, nothing, no signal. Then Jason, then me, nothing. Kyle was shaking in the back seat, and then we saw the woman standing in the middle of the road. She wasn't moving, just watching, wearing a long white dress, her hair soaked down over her face. I don't know how she got there. We hadn't passed anyone. Jason slammed the brakes. We skidded to a stop just feet from her. She didn't flinch. Jason leaned on the horn. She didn't move, and then, without ever taking a step, she was suddenly closer. We all screamed. Jason threw the car into reverse. We drove backward as fast as we could, but every time we blinked, she was closer, until we hit something, a tree. We spun out, the car stalled, and the red sky above flickered like a dying flame. Then darkness, total. When we came to, we were on a dirt road again. The sun was rising, birds were singing, the road was back behind us, the GPS working again. It showed us only a few miles from a main road. We didn't speak, Not then, not during the drive home, not until weeks later. I don't know what that road was, or who that woman was, but I know this much, Eerie. We weren't meant to be there, and whatever we drove into, it was watching us. Still is, because sometimes the road doesn't take you where you want to go. Sometimes it takes you somewhere else, and once you're there, it doesn't let you go.